Alright, so the whole situation in Midgar is an absolute mess right now. A massive tornado just tore through a bunch of sectors, leveling buildings and causing total chaos. The mayor is out here blaming it on avalanche, calling it weather warfare, which is honestly such a wild claim. The news is just yapping on about the destruction, and you can tell things are grim. Emergency crews are on the scene, but there's this alert out for an ex-soldier with a buster sword. It feels like the city is on high alert, and everyone is just trying to process the chaos. Suddenly, Shinra forces are everywhere, trying to lock down the area and capture anyone connected to Avalanche. It's a full-on tactical operation, with teams moving in to secure targets. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife, and you know a fight is about to break out. The crew settles down for a bit, and Barret, being Barret, pushes Cloud to spill the tea about his past with Sephiroth. This is where it all begins, the big flashback. Cloud starts telling the story of what went down 5 years ago, and you can just feel it's going to be heavy. We're thrown back in time to when Cloud was just a rookie, totally fanboying over getting to work with the legendary Sephiroth. They're on a mission to a Mako reactor in Nibelheim, which just so happens to be Cloud's old hometown. The vibes are already a little off, not gonna lie. Sephiroth is being super emo and detached, talking about how he has no home and dropping cryptic hints about his mom, Jenova. It's clear he's got some major baggage. Cloud is just trying to keep up, but Sephiroth is on a whole other level of mysterious and brooding hero energy. Back in Nibelheim, Cloud, trying to keep a low profile in his helmet, bumps into some of the locals. A super intense martial arts teacher tries to recruit him, which is just awkward. Then, he runs into Tifa's dad, setting up the complicated history between all these characters. Cloud starts getting hit with waves of nostalgia being back in his hometown. He's remembering his childhood, his cat, and even sneaking into Tifa's room. It's a mix of sweet memories and some cringy teenage moments, and Tifa is definitely not thrilled he's sharing all the details. The flashback gets more personal as Cloud talks about visiting his mom. It's this really sweet but also heartbreaking moment where she's just being a mom, worrying about him finding a girlfriend and eating enough. You find out later it was the last time he ever saw her, which just hits different. That night, everyone can feel something is off, especially Sephiroth. He's staring at the landscape like he's seen it before, completely lost in thought. The foreshadowing is so heavy here, you just know something is about to go down that will change everything for him and for Cloud. The next morning, it turns out Tifa is their guide up the mountain to the reactor. Her dad is super against it, but she's determined. They even get Sephiroth to crack a smile for a group photo, a rare moment of chill before everything inevitably goes sideways on this mission. The trip up Mount Nebel is pretty intense, with monsters popping up left and right. Cloud is trying his best to look cool and capable, but Sephiroth just handles everything effortlessly. He's so powerful, it's almost scary, leaving Cloud feeling like he's not even needed on the mission. They get to a rickety old bridge, and it totally collapses, taking one of the Shinra guards with it. It's a moment of pure chaos, and Tifa is shaken up. Sephiroth stays calm, but the danger of the mission is becoming super real, and they're not even at the reactor yet. They discover a Mako spring, and it's beautiful, but also kind of sad, hinting at the planet's energy being drained. Sephiroth drops some lore about materia, explaining that it holds the knowledge of the ancients. It's a deep conversation that shows a more thoughtful side to him before his big villain arc. Back in the present, Barret is losing his patience with the story, wanting to get to the part where Sephiroth becomes the villain everyone knows. He's like, "Make my blood boil." Cloud promises the story gets there, and the suspense is killing everyone. The buildup is just immaculate. Inside the reactor, things get seriously messed up. They find these containment pods with mutated creatures, products of Professor Hojo's twisted experiments. Sephiroth realizes his mother's name, Jenova, is connected to this, and his whole world starts to unravel right there in that creepy lab. Sephiroth has a full-on identity crisis, realizing he might have been created in a lab just like the monsters in the pods. He questions if he's even human, and you can see the exact moment he breaks. It's the start of his villain origin story, and it is absolutely devastating to watch. After the reactor incident, Sephiroth locks himself away in the basement of the Shinra Manor, obsessively reading old research documents. He's completely consumed by what he discovered, trying to piece together the truth about his creation and Jenova. The whole town is on edge. Cloud confronts Sephiroth, who has now fully convinced himself that he is the rightful heir to the planet, created from the cells of an ancient named Jenova. He declares that his mother is waiting and that he's going to reclaim the world, completely lost to his newfound delusions. Suddenly, Nibelheim is in flames. Sephiroth has gone on a rampage, destroying the town and killing anyone in his path. It's a scene of absolute horror and devastation. Cloud rushes in to find his home turned into a nightmare, trying to save whoever he can from the chaos. Cloud confronts Sephiroth, fueled by pure rage after finding Tifa and his mother among the victims. He calls Sephiroth a monster, and an epic battle ensues. It's a desperate, emotional fight where Cloud is just running on adrenaline and grief, trying to stop the man he once admired. The flashback continues from Tifa's perspective. She finds her father murdered by Sephiroth and, in a fit of rage, grabs his Masamune sword to attack him. It's a brave but futile move. Sephiroth easily overpowers her, leaving her critically wounded before proceeding with his plan. Fueled by grief and anger over Tifa and his mom, Cloud somehow finds the strength for one last confrontation. He manages to impale Sephiroth with his Buster Sword. It's a shocking moment of victory, but it's the last thing Cloud remembers before everything goes blank, ending the flashback. With the story over, the group is left reeling. Barret is struggling with the idea of Jenova, and Tifa is clearly disturbed. Later that night, Aerith reveals a bombshell. As far as she knows, Cloud was never actually in Nibelheim 5 years ago, throwing everything into question. Tifa confronts Cloud, questioning his memories of that night. She thought he had died. It's a super tense conversation where Cloud is defensive, showing her a scar as proof. The trust between them is clearly fractured, and it's obvious there are major gaps in both of their stories. The crew wakes up in calm, but Shinra is already closing in. They have to make a quick escape through a secret tunnel. An old man helps them out, giving them a transmuter to craft items and points them toward a friend's farm. The journey is officially back on, and it's intense. Out in the open grasslands, Tifa spots a water tower that looks just like the one from Nibelheim, bringing back a flood of memories. It's a quiet, reflective moment that highlights how much that event still haunts her. The past is literally following them, even out in the middle of nowhere. From a clock tower, the crew looks back at Midgar, which now seems so small and distant. Aerith and Cloud have a heart-to-heart where she tells him not to take Tifa for granted. It's a sweet moment, but it's interrupted by Shinra's soldiers, reminding them they're still fugitives. After narrowly escaping Shinra troops in calm, the innkeeper directs them through a secret basement tunnel. He explains his own beef with Shinra and gives them a transmuter for crafting. It's clear they have allies in unexpected places, but they need to keep moving fast to stay ahead. The crew finally reaches the vast open grasslands, a huge contrast to the industrial gloom of Midgar. It's a moment of freedom, but also uncertainty. Barret is ready to charge ahead, reminding everyone that their journey to save the planet is just beginning, and there's no time to waste. To cross a massive swamp, the team needs to get some chocobos, but the local ranch is all out of rideable birds. The only option is to catch a wild one that ran off, a feisty bird named Pico. This leads to a mini-quest where they have to track and tame the runaway chocobo. While at the chocobo ranch, the kids, Billy and Chloe, hint at some family drama involving Chocobo Sam from Wall Market. It's a bit of side story that adds depth to the world, showing how interconnected everyone is. They give the team some greens to help lure Pico back. The group runs into Chadley, the cyborg kid from Midgar, who is now free from Hojo and wants to continue his research. He asks Cloud to activate old communication towers across the world to expand his network, promising to develop new materia in return. It's a classic side quest setup. After catching Pico, Billy teaches Cloud the basics of Chocobo riding. It's a fun little tutorial moment that also hints at the bigger world of Chocobo racing at the Gold Saucer. The crew is now equipped with their own transportation, ready to take on the treacherous swamp. While crossing the swamp, the infamous Midgar Zolom, a giant serpent monster, attacks them. It's a massive, terrifying fight that they barely survive. This encounter really drives home how dangerous the world outside of Midgar is, and that they're not just dealing with Shinra anymore. After the swamp, they enter the Mithril mine, following the trail of the black-robed figures. The mine is dark and dangerous, filled with monsters. The group is on high alert, knowing that Sephiroth's influence is drawing these mysterious people forward, and they are getting closer to him. Inside the mine, they get ambushed by the Turks, including a new, energetic member named Elena. She's super eager to prove herself and captures Tifa. It's a tense standoff that shows the Turks are still very much a threat, even if their orders are a bit confusing right now. Their journey through the mine awakens a massive mithril golem. It's another huge boss fight that requires the whole team to work together. The battle is intense, showcasing how the challenges are escalating as they venture further from Midgar. Every step forward is a new battle. The crew arrives in Under Junon, a rundown fishing town living in the shadow of the massive Shinra military city above. The local mayor, Rhonda, is wary but ultimately decides not to turn them in for the bounty. It's a tense introduction to a place completely controlled by Shinra. A sea monster attacks the docks, and a local girl named Priscilla is in danger. Cloud and the team jump into action to save her. It's a heroic moment that earns them some respect from the townspeople. Tifa has to perform CPR to revive Priscilla, showing off her capable side. They meet Yuffie, a quirky ninja from Wutai, who initially tries to play them but is revealed to be on an anti-Shinra mission. She has a wild plan to assassinate the new president, Rufus Shinra, during his upcoming inauguration parade. Her energy is chaotic and unpredictable. Tifa and Cloud have another private talk, trying to mend the rift between them. Tifa tests Cloud's memory with a story about a boy from their village, and he fails the test, deepening her suspicions. The conversation is full of unspoken tension, highlighting their complicated relationship. Yuffie tries to recruit the team for her assassination plot against Rufus Shinra. She's super passionate about liberating her homeland, Wutai, from Shinra's control. The group is skeptical, but Yuffie's determination is undeniable. She's a force of nature, for better or worse. Things get even more complicated when Rosh, the eccentric soldier on a motorcycle, shows up looking for a rematch with Cloud. He's obsessed with their dance of battle and wants to stage a grand performance in the city above. His flair for the dramatic is both hilarious and menacing. To get up to the main city of Junon, the team needs a way to bypass security. Priscilla suggests a wild plan, using a trained dolphin to launch someone up to a high platform to operate a cargo elevator. Naturally, Cloud is the one who has to do the dolphin jump. The crew finally makes it to the upper city of Junon, a massive, heavily fortified Shinra stronghold. The scale of the city and the military presence is overwhelming. It's clear that getting close to President Rufus Shinra is going to be a huge challenge, but they're determined to try. We get a glimpse of Rufus Shinra's leadership style as he meets with an emissary from Wutai. It's clear Rufus has his own vision, different from his father's, and he's not afraid to use military power to achieve it. The political situation is getting more complex and dangerous. The team decides the best way to get close to Rufus is to disguise themselves as Shinra troopers and infiltrate the inauguration parade. It's a ridiculously bold plan, but it's their only shot. This sets the stage for a whole section of stealth, impersonation, and military drills. Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith get their Shinra uniforms, but are immediately put on the spot by a tough-as-nails commander. They have to pass a form check, and through some sheer luck and Cloud's muscle memory, he gets promoted to parade captain. The plan is already getting complicated. As the newly appointed captain, Cloud has to run around Junon and round up all the slacking soldiers from his infantry unit. It turns into a hilarious series of mini-games and interactions as he tries to assemble his team for the big parade, all while trying to maintain his cover. The pressure is on as Cloud has to give a motivational speech to his new squad. He fumbles through it, but the commander steps in to hype everyone up. It's a surprisingly funny and team-building moment before they have to perform in front of the entire city and the new president. The inauguration parade begins, and it's a massive spectacle. Rufus Shinra makes a dramatic entrance and orders the city's giant cannon, the Sister Ray, to be fired in a show of force. It's a chilling display of Shinra's military might under its new, ambitious leader. It's showtime for Cloud and his squad. The parade performance is a rhythm minigame where Cloud has to command his troops through a series of complex formations. The success of this performance will determine if they get close enough to Rufus to get the answers they need. No pressure, right? After the parade, Rufus gives a speech, positioning himself as a new kind of leader for a new era. Then, he announces that Cloud's unit has won the presidential commendation, inviting them up on stage. Their crazy plan actually worked, and they're about to come face to face with him. On stage, Rufus reveals he knows exactly who Cloud is. He offers a deal. He'll let Avalanche go free if they hunt down and eliminate Sephiroth for him. Rufus sees Sephiroth as an embarrassing relic of the past and wants him gone. It's a shocking proposal that changes the game. Just as they're considering the deal, Yuffie's assassination attempt goes off, throwing everything into chaos. The deal with Rufus is off the table, and now they're fugitives again, trying to escape Junon while the entire city is on high alert. Yuffie really knows how to make an entrance. During the escape, Cloud is cornered by Rosh again. This time, they have their big showdown, a full-on boss battle on motorcycles. It's an over-the-top, action-packed fight that perfectly captures Rosh's wild personality. He seems to respect Cloud after the duel and lets him go. Cloud has a surprisingly heartfelt goodbye with the 7th Infantry Squad he led. They see him as a true leader and promise to trust him, even though they don't know his real identity. It's a sweet moment that shows the bonds he formed, even while undercover, before he escapes. The team bluffs their way onto the Shinra 8, a cargo ship heading to Costa del Sol. They use their presidential commendation as a cover story to get passage. It's a close call, but they manage to get on board, leaving the chaos of Junon behind them as they set sail. On board the Shinra 8, a Queen's Blood card tournament is announced. Aerith, Red 13, and even Tifa get excited about it, seeing it as a chance to relax. It's a nice change of pace from the constant running and fighting, allowing the characters to just have some fun for a bit. Cloud enters the Queen's Blood tournament and faces a series of quirky opponents, including a robot designed to be the ultimate player and even Madame M from Wall Market. It's a fun sequence of card battles that breaks up the main story with some lighthearted competition and strategy. Cloud makes it to the final rounds, even facing off against Chadley in a surprisingly intense match. The tournament is a great way to showcase the personalities of the different characters who participate. The whole ship is invested in the outcome, cheering for their favorite players. After winning the tournament, Cloud is challenged to one final exhibition match by a mysterious, cloaked figure. It turns out to be Red 30 in a hilariously bad disguise. He's learned the game just by watching, and they have a surprisingly close match. It's a goofy, charming moment. The peace is shattered when the ship is attacked by fiends. An emergency announcement sends everyone into a panic. The crew has to switch from vacation mode back to combat mode instantly, grabbing their weapons to defend the ship and its passengers from the sudden onslaught. The situation gets way worse when they realize the black-robed figures on board are merging with the fiends, creating horrifying new monsters. Hojo is on a call, sounding delighted by this new mutation. It's a chilling reminder of his twisted experiments and Sephiroth's influence. A massive creature, a manifestation of Jenova, appears on the deck. It's a horrifying, multi-limbed monster that is both terrifying and deeply connected to Sephiroth's origins. The team has to face this powerful entity, realizing that Sephiroth's reunion plan is starting to take shape. The crew finally arrives at Costa del Sol, a sunny beach resort. It's a total vibe shift from the dark and gritty locations they've been in. The mayor welcomes them with leis, and everyone is trying to get into the vacation spirit, even though the threat of Shinra and Sephiroth still looms. Despite being in a paradise, not everyone is feeling the vacation. Barret is his usual grumpy self, while the girls are excited to hit the beach. There's a catch, though. They need to find appropriate beachwear to even be allowed on the sand, which kicks off another series of mini-games. They run into Johnny from the Sector 7 slums, who now miraculously owns a hotel in Costa del Sol. It's a run-down place, but he offers them rooms for free. He explains he got a loan from the mayor, but it's pretty clear Johnny is in way over his head. To get beachwear, Cloud has to participate in a local event called Costa dell'Amore, where he gets paired up with a random partner to compete in games. He ends up teaming with Barret for a pirate-themed shooting game, and their competitive dynamic is absolutely hilarious to watch. Cloud's next event is a team-based Queen's Blood Carnival game, and he partners up with Aerith. They make a great team, easily winning the challenge. Their playful chemistry is on full display as they strategize together, enjoying a rare moment of lighthearted fun in the sun. Aerith has a somber moment alone, revealing that the Whispers stole precious memories from her, leaving her materia blank. It's a heartbreaking scene that hints at the true weight of her journey and the sacrifices she has made. The happy vacation vibe suddenly feels very fragile. Tifa and Aerith team up to earn their beachwear. They participate in various activities, from playing the piano at a hotel concert to helping a local girl with her unreturned wheelie scooters. It's a fun montage that showcases their growing friendship as they explore the resort together. Tifa's piano performance is a standout moment. She plays a beautiful but slightly flawed rendition of a song, impressing the hotel staff and earning a companion card. It's a callback to her past and shows a softer, more artistic side of her character amidst all the fighting. Johnny is seen working for a Shinra executive, much to the group's dismay. He insists he's just trying to pay off his debt to the mayor and isn't a sellout. It highlights the desperation of people trying to survive and the pervasive influence of Shinra, even in a resort town. The beach day is interrupted by none other than Professor Hojo, who shows up with a bunch of black-robed figures. He's there to conduct another one of his sick experiments, completely ruining the vacation vibe. The team has to spring into action as he unleashes a new monster. Hojo unleashes a massive, grotesque creature called Jenova Emergent on the beach. It's a chaotic battle where the team has to fight this monster while also dealing with Hojo's minions. Yuffie shows up to help, and even Johnny tries to be a hero, getting himself into trouble. After the intense battle, the resort is in ruins. Barret is feeling immense guilt, feeling like he failed to protect people. It's a heavy moment that shows the toll this journey is taking on him. The contrast between the beautiful setting and the destruction is stark and depressing. Aerith and Cloud have a deep, emotional conversation on the ruined beach at night. Aerith opens up about her hatred for Hojo and the dark thoughts she has. Cloud reassures her, promising to be there for her. It's a powerful bonding moment that strengthens their connection. The girls of Costa del Sol, impressed by Johnny's heroism, confront the mayor and get his debt cancelled. Johnny is now a local hero and the proud, debt-free owner of the Seaside Inn. It's a funny and triumphant turn of events for a character who is usually just comic relief. Yuffie officially rejoins the party, much to Barret's annoyance. She's as hyper and mischievous as ever, but her skills are a welcome addition. Her presence adds a new dynamic to the group as they leave Costa del Sol and head towards Mount Corel, following the trail of the robed men. On the way to Mount Corel, they're ambushed by Rude and Elena of the Turks. It's another quick but intense fight that proves Shinra is still tracking them closely. The Turks are a persistent threat, always showing up at the worst possible moments to complicate things for the team. Back at Shinra HQ, Rufus and his executives discuss the weapons, giant guardians of the planet that have appeared. Hojo is ecstatic at the chance to study them. This scene provides crucial lore, revealing that the planet is actively fighting back against the threats it faces. The journey continues, with the group piling into a buggy to cross the desert. Yuffie is being her usual chaotic self, annoying Barret and livening up the trip. It's a classic RPG travel montage, filled with banter and character interactions as they head toward their next destination. They spot one of the giant weapons emerging from the Mako-filled sea. It's a breathtaking and terrifying sight. Red 13 explains that these creatures only appear when the planet is in grave danger. Yuffie, meanwhile, is just excited about the massive materia inside it, which is so on brand for her. In the Corel mines, the group gets split up. Aerith, Yuffie, and Barret take a minecart ride to lower a bridge, while Cloud rests. The minecart sequence is a wild, fast-paced action segment with quick-time events, making for a thrilling and slightly nauseating ride through the crumbling tunnels. Cloud's decision to pick the exciting minecart route for the others backfires spectacularly. The ride is so intense and dangerous that Yuffie is fuming by the end of it, vowing revenge on him. It's a hilarious moment of cause and effect that adds some levity to the dark journey. The group finally arrives at North Corel, Barret's hometown, but the welcome is anything but warm. The townspeople are hostile, blaming him for the town's ruin. It's a painful homecoming for Barret, who has to face the consequences of his past actions and the people he let down. The crew visits the local clinic, where the doctor recognizes Tifa from when he treated her after the Nibelheim incident. He mentions that Shinra helped save her, adding another layer of complexity to their relationship with the company. It's clear not everything is as black and white as it seems. In a cable car heading to the Gold Saucer, Barret finally opens up about his past. He tells the story of how he and his best friend, Dine, pushed for the town to accept Shinra's Mako reactor, believing it would bring prosperity. It's the beginning of a tragic tale of betrayal and loss. Barret recounts the day the reactor exploded. Shinra, led by the ruthless Scarlet, showed up and blamed the explosion on the townspeople. They burned Corel to the ground to cover up their own failure, creating a false narrative of a local insurgency. It was a brutal act of corporate violence. The crew arrives at the Gold Saucer, a massive, dazzling amusement park in the middle of the desert. It's a surreal and jarring contrast to the grim reality of the world outside. Yuffie is ecstatic, while Barret is disgusted by the blatant display of Mako-fueled excess. Upon entering, Cloud is immediately challenged to a fight in the battle arena by the park's eccentric director, Dio. It's a flashy, showy introduction to the anything-goes atmosphere of the Gold Saucer. Cloud wins the fight, earning a golden ticket to enjoy the park's attractions. The group decides to split up and enjoy the park. While Cloud and Barret go to find a hotel, they're followed by Cait Sith, a strange, fortune-telling cat riding a giant Moogle. He's quirky and mysterious, dropping cryptic fortunes that seem to hint at the group's dark future. Finding a hotel proves to be a nightmare. Every place is booked solid until Cait Sith magically arranges for 2 suites to open up. It's clear he's more than just a toy, and his motives are still a total mystery. The group is wary, but they need a place to stay. Cait Sith gives Cloud a chilling fortune. You will find what you seek, but you will lose what you cherish most. This cryptic message hangs heavy in the air, adding a sense of dread to their supposed vacation. The fun of the gold saucer now feels tainted with foreboding. While resting, Cloud has a strange, hazy dream or flashback involving Zack Fair. It's another piece of the puzzle of his fractured memory, showing Zack taking care of a catatonic Cloud and a weak Aerith. The lines between Cloud's memories and reality are becoming increasingly blurred. Cloud wakes up to find Tifa waiting for him. Since the Skywheel ride is couples only that night, they decide to explore the gold saucer together. It sets the stage for the iconic date scene, a pivotal moment for their relationship and the story's romantic subplot. At the Golden Theater, Tifa sees a poster for the play Loveless, which reminds her of Jessie. She shares a heartfelt memory of how Jessie helped her when she first came to Midgar. It's a touching tribute to their fallen comrade, showing how much Jessie meant to the team. Cloud and Tifa check out Speed Square, where they play a sci-fi shooter game. Cloud, with his soldier training, naturally excels at it. It's a fun, competitive moment that allows them to bond and take their minds off the heavy stuff, at least for a little while. They move on to Wonder Square, the arcade of the Gold Saucer. Tifa challenges Cloud to a 3D brawler game, teasing him when he seems hesitant. He ends up crushing the game, of course. It's a cute, playful scene that builds on their shared history and comfortable dynamic. Just as they're about to ride the Skywheel, an emergency alert sounds. There's been a shooting at the park, and the suspect is described as a man with a gun for an arm. Cait Sith finds them and tells them to get to the Coliseum immediately. The vacation is officially over. At the crime scene, Dio accuses Barret of the murders. Despite Cloud's defense that it's not Barret's style, the evidence seems damning. Dio gives them an ultimatum: find the real killer in 24 hours, or they will all be handed over to Shinra. The clock is ticking. Dio sends them down to the Dust Bowl, also known as Corel Prison, a lawless settlement for outcasts beneath the Gold Saucer. He believes the real culprit is hiding there. The team has to navigate this dangerous, forgotten place to clear Barret's name and find the truth. In the prison, they meet Gus, the self-proclaimed boss of the Dust Bowl. He reveals he has Barret captured and will only hand him over for a massive amount of money. His plan for them to earn it? Cloud has to become a Chocobo jockey and win a high-stakes race. Cloud is reunited with Billy from the Chocobo Ranch, who is also captured by Gus. The Chocobo he has to ride is none other than Pico. But Pico is sick and weak from the desert trek, so Cloud and Yuffie have to find special greens within the prison to nurse him back to health. In the Jockey Lounge, Cloud meets Joe, the current racing champion. There's some classic rival tension, but Joe seems more intrigued than hostile. It's clear that the Chocobo racing world is a serious business, even in a place as rundown as Corel Prison. The stakes are high. Cloud wins the Chocobo race in a thrilling finish. Gus, true to his word, tells them where to find Barret. He directs them to a scrapyard deep in the desert where the man with the gun arm is being held. The team sets off, ready for a confrontation. They find Barret, who reveals the devastating truth. The killer was his former best friend, Dine. He recounts the rest of his tragic past, how Scarlet attacked them after the reactor explosion, how he lost his arm, and how he thought Dine had died that day. It's a gut-wrenching story. Barret insists on facing Dine alone. He finds him in the desolate scrapyard, a broken man consumed by grief and rage. Dine, hallucinating that his wife and daughter are still with him, is lost in his own world of pain, making the confrontation even more tragic and difficult. the reunion turns into a fight to the death. Barret is forced to battle his old friend, a man who mirrors his own pain and desire for revenge. It's an emotionally charged boss battle, with every shot fired feeling like a blow to their shared history and tragic past. After the fight, Barret tells Dine that his daughter, Marlene, is alive. It's a moment of shock and hope, but Dine feels he's too far gone, with too much blood on his hands, to ever be a father again. The weight of his actions is just too heavy for him to bear. In a final tragic act, Dine entrusts Barret with a pendant for Marlene before taking his own life. It's a devastating end to a painful story, leaving Barret to carry the weight of both his own guilt and his friend's memory as he continues his journey to protect Marlene. With Barret's name cleared, Dio helps the team escape the prison in a stolen desert buggy just as Shinra forces arrive. It's a chaotic, high-speed chase through the desert as they flee from riot control mechs. Dio proves to be a surprisingly reliable and honorable ally. The buggy chase is an intense action sequence, with the team fighting off Shinra mechs from the back of the vehicle. It's a thrilling escape that forces them to work together under immense pressure, solidifying their bond after the heavy emotional events that just transpired in the prison. The scene cuts to Tseng of the Turks, who is still monitoring Aerith. He seems to have a personal interest in her, hinting at a deeper connection or history between them. It's a mysterious little moment that adds another layer to the ongoing plot with the Turks and Shinra. Rufus Shinra is confronted by a vision of Sephiroth, who taunts him about his fears and his daddy issues. Sephiroth's psychological manipulation is on full display as he preys on Rufus's insecurities. It's a chilling scene that shows Sephiroth's influence can reach anyone, anywhere. Back in the buggy, Cait Sith reveals his true nature. He's a Shinra spy, controlled by Reeve Tuffy from Urban Development. He's been feeding information back to Shinra the whole time. It's a shocking betrayal that leaves the group feeling vulnerable and angry, but they're stuck with him. Cait Sith, now forced to be their guide, directs them south toward another rundown reactor in Gongaga. Despite the betrayal, the team has no choice but to follow his lead, as he's their only source of information on where the black-robed figures might be headed next. The uneasy alliance begins. The squad rolls into Gongaga, and the vibe is immediately a little off. They're on the hunt for info, but the locals are kinda cagey. Turns out, this quiet jungle town has some serious history, and the crew is about to get a major lore drop they weren't ready for. A random encounter with a local militia captain named Cisnai almost goes sideways. Cloud has a moment where he thinks he recognizes her, which is low-key sus. It's clear that this town is hiding more than just rare mushrooms. There are memories and connections here that are about to get complicated. They stumble upon a memorial for a reactor that went boom years ago. Shinra, being the corporate villains they are, basically put a band-aid on a nuke site and called it a day. The whole incident left scars on the town, both literally and figuratively, setting a pretty grim tone. Aerith starts getting nostalgic about food, which is a wholesome break from all the doom and gloom. She talks about her mom's cooking, trying to get Cloud to open up. It's a sweet, character-building moment that shows how she's always trying to find the good vibes, even in a mess. Things get real awkward, real fast. They meet an older couple who mistake Cloud for their son, Zack. The name drop hits everyone like a truck, especially Aerith. Cloud plays dumb, but it's obvious he's hiding something, and the mystery around Zack deepens. This is not the family reunion anyone signed up for. Aerith finally spills the tea about Zack being her first love. This is his hometown, and being here is bringing up all the feels for her. It's a vulnerable moment, explaining why she's been acting so weird. The love triangle is officially not just a theory anymore. It's canon, and it's messy. Cloud says something incredibly harsh about Zack, basically telling Aerith he's probably dead. It's a super out-of-pocket comment that shocks everyone and makes him seem like a total jerk. This moment really highlights how messed up his mental state is and how little he seems to remember. Suddenly, a weird noise comes from the busted reactor, and everyone's adventure senses start tingling. The local militia mentions seeing creepy black whispers, which the squad knows is bad news. Yuffie, ever the opportunist, wants in on the action but gets told to stay put, which she is not happy about. Inside the reactor, they find it overflowing with Mako, which is basically the planet's lifeblood. This confirms their theory that Shinra's reactors are literally draining the world dry. But before they can get too deep into their eco-warrior era, some unwanted guests crash the party in a big way. Surprise! Scarlet, one of Shinra's top executives and a certified girl boss from Hell, shows up with a giant mech. She's here to collect materia and exterminate any pests, which includes the main characters. The banter is top tier, but the situation is high-key dangerous. A classic boss fight is about to go down. The fight with Scarlet's mech is an absolute chaotic mess of explosions and witty one-liners. The squad is giving it their all, but Scarlet is not playing around. She brought out the big guns, and it's going to take some serious teamwork to take this thing down without getting totally wrecked. Yuffie, ignoring everyone, shows up to help by taunting Scarlet. While her timing is questionable, it does create a diversion. This allows Aerith and Yuffie to handle the smaller threats while Cloud and the others focus on the main boss. Teamwork makes the dream work, even when one member is chaos incarnate. Sephiroth starts messing with Cloud's head again, making him see Tifa as an imposter created by Jenova. This is a classic gaslighting move, and Cloud is falling for it hard. He's on the verge of attacking his friend, completely lost in the sauce of his own trauma and Sephiroth's manipulation. Cloud's mental breakdown triggers a massive dive into the Lifestream, and suddenly we're in a flashback episode. He's reliving the traumatic Nibelheim incident from Tifa's perspective, seeing how his memories are all kinds of wrong. It's a huge lore drop that explains so much about their shared past. While Tifa is basically in a Mako-induced coma, the rest of the squad is trying to pull her out of the Lifestream. Their voices are reaching her, begging her to fight and come back. It's a super emotional scene, showing just how much they've all come to care for each other. Inside their shared consciousness, Tifa confronts Cloud about his messed up memories. She reveals that he wasn't the soldier who was with Sephiroth that day. He was just one of the regular guards. He followed her up the mountain to save her, making him a hero in her eyes, even if he doesn't remember it. Back in the real world, the gang decides their next move is Cosmo Canyon, the home of planetology. Red 30 is super hyped because it's his hometown. The goal is to learn more about the planet to fight Sephiroth and maybe pick up some rare materia. It's time for a field trip. To get to Cosmo Canyon, they need a pilot. They find a rundown airstrip and use smoke signals to call for a ride. This summons Sid Highwind, a foul-mouthed but legendary pilot with a plane that has definitely seen better days. He agrees to fly them, for a price, of course. During the flight, we get a flashback to Hojo doing some seriously messed up experiments. It's a glimpse into the creation of soldiers and the horrors that went on in Shinra's labs. This scene provides some context for what happened to Cloud and why he's so broken. It's dark stuff. The squad arrives at Cosmo Canyon, a stunningly beautiful place carved into the rock. Red 13, whose real name is Nanaki, gets a warm welcome home. The vibe is very spiritual and intellectual, a huge contrast to the industrial nightmare of Midgar. Everyone is in awe of the place. Nanaki reveals his plan to stay in Cosmo Canyon to fulfill his duty as a watcher. The rest of the crew is bummed, but they understand. We also learn that Nanaki is technically a teenager in his species, despite his mature voice, which makes his whole tough guy act even funnier. They meet Bugenhagen, Nanaki's grandpa, and the resident expert on all things planet. He's a wise old dude who floats around and drops wisdom like it's nothing. He agrees to teach them about the Lifestream, which is exactly what they came here for. School is officially in session. Bugenhagen takes them to his planetarium and gives them the full rundown on the Lifestream. He explains how all life comes from and returns to the planet, and how Shinra's Mako reactors are disrupting this cycle. It's Planetology 101, and it's blowing everyone's mind. The stakes just got way higher. Yuffie is bored out of her mind, complaining that the materia here is fake and the lectures are lame. Her short attention span is on full display. Meanwhile, the rest of the group is attending a seminar, trying to absorb all the knowledge they can get. Different strokes for different folks. Aerith shares her own experience with the Lifestream, talking about the warmth and the memories she felt. She tries to explain the conflict she witnessed within it, but the academics don't really get it. It's a frustrating moment for her, feeling like she has the answers but can't make anyone listen. At the annual festival, everyone gathers around a massive bonfire. It's a time for reflection and deep talks. Barret is struggling with the whole return to the planet concept, arguing that when you're dead, you're dead. His cynical worldview clashes with the spiritual beliefs of the canyon. Aerith opens up to Tifa about being the last of the Cetra. She talks about how it's been a curse her whole life, making her a target for Shinra, but she also acknowledges that it brought her to her friends. It's a bittersweet moment of acceptance and finding her place in the world. Bugenhagen reveals that Nanaki must undergo a trial to become a true watcher of the canyon. He unseals a forbidden cave, revealing that it's full of danger. He asks for the party's help to ensure Nanaki's safety, setting the stage for the next big dungeon crawl. Nanaki shares his family drama, explaining that he despises his father, Seto, for being a coward who abandoned their village during an attack. His mother, on the other hand, died a hero. This daddy issues arc is the core of his character, and he's about to have his whole worldview shattered. The Cave of the G is spooky, to say the least. It's filled with the angry spirits of a warrior tribe called the Gi. Bugenhagen explains that the cave is a prison for them, and Nanaki's trial involves understanding the history of this place. It's a history lesson with monsters. As they go deeper, Bugenhagen tells the story of a lone watcher who defended the canyon from the Gi. This hero single-handedly fought them off in this very cave. Nanaki is listening, but he has no idea that this story is directly connected to him and his family. The big reveal finally happens. At the end of the cave, they find a petrified warrior covered in arrows, still standing guard. It's Seto, Nanaki's father. He wasn't a coward. He sacrificed himself to protect everyone, and the poison from the arrows turned him to stone. Nanaki is completely speechless. Having learned the truth, Nanaki's perspective is forever changed. Bugenhagen tells him that his journey isn't over and that he must continue traveling with Cloud and the others. With a newfound sense of purpose and pride in his heritage, Nanaki howls in honor of his father, ready for what's next. Just when they think it's over, a Gi spirit appears and asks for their help. He leads them to a hidden village of the Gai, who are trapped as spirits. They explain that the Citra stole the black materia from them, which they need to find true release. This kicks off a whole new quest. We switch to a different timeline where Zack is alive. He's dealing with the aftermath of the Sector 7 plate collapse and trying to take care of a comatose Cloud and a recovering Aerith. It's a glimpse into a world where things went very differently, adding another layer of mystery to the story. Zack reflects on his purpose, feeling like a side character in his own life. Aerith gives him a pep talk, telling him that everyone has to find their own meaning. It's a touching moment that shows their deep connection, even in this alternate reality. Her hopefulness is infectious. Back in the main timeline, the crew returns from the G village. They learn from Bugenhagen that Sephiroth is heading towards Nibelheim. The robed figures are all converging there, drawn by the reunion. The next destination is set, and it's a trip down a very dark memory lane for Cloud and Tifa. On their way out of Cosmo Canyon, Nanaki gets a proper emotional goodbye from his family and Bugenhagen. He promises to make his dad proud, fully embracing his new role. It's a great send-off for his character arc, showing how much he's grown since they first met him in Hojo's lab. Arriving in Nibelheim is a total trip. The town has been completely rebuilt, and Shinra is trying to cover up the fact that Sephiroth burned it to the ground. It's now a fake town filled with actors and serving as a treatment center for Mako poisoning. The whole situation is incredibly creepy. Cloud and Tifa explore the rebuilt town, pointing out their old houses. The nostalgia is thick, but it's tainted by the knowledge that this is all a facade. Aerith tries to get Cloud to open up about his memories, but he's still closed off, clearly troubled by being back here. Barret gets the lowdown on what really happened in Nibelheim from Tifa. She explains how Sephiroth destroyed everything and how Shinra covered it up. This fuels Barret's rage against the company, solidifying his resolve to take them down. The fake town becomes a symbol of Shinra's corruption. They learn from the local staff that the patients in town are basically Hojo's old test subjects. Many of them have number tattoos, just like the robed figures they'd been seeing. It's clear that Nibelheim is ground zero for Shinra's darkest secrets, and they're about to uncover them. Cloud has another major memory glitch. He remembers Zack being with him in Nibelheim 5 years ago, a detail he had previously forgotten. The pieces of his past are slowly coming back, but they're fragmented and confusing. Tifa knows the truth, but is hesitant to push him too hard. Tifa confesses to Cloud that Zack was indeed his friend and that he died trying to save him. The memory of his death is what's been causing Cloud so much pain and confusion. It's a heavy moment, but finally getting some truth out in the open is a small step forward for him. The party heads towards the Nibel reactor, but they find it's now a battleground. Wutai forces are fighting Shinra, and it's absolute chaos. This confirms that the ceasefire is over and a full-blown war is brewing. Their simple mission just got a lot more complicated. Inside the reactor, Sephiroth's presence is palpable. He's been here, and he's left a trail of destruction. Cait Sith, who has been helping them remotely, confirms that they need to get into Shinra Manor to find what they're looking for. The creepy mansion is their next objective. Shinra Manor is just as eerie as they expected. An AI hologram of Hojo greets them, adding to the unsettling vibe. The mansion is a maze of secret passages and locked doors, and it's clear Hojo used this place for his unethical experiments. This is not going to be a simple walkthrough. To get through the manor, they have to find a password. This involves solving a series of puzzles left behind by Hojo. The whole sequence feels like an escape room from hell, with the constant threat of whatever failed experiments are still lurking in the basement. The tension is building. In the basement, they find a man sleeping in a coffin. He introduces himself as Vincent Valentine, a former Turk who was experimented on by Hojo. He's broody, mysterious, and has a personal vendetta against Sephiroth. He reluctantly agrees to help them, adding another powerful but emotionally distant member to the team. Cait Sith tries to convince Vincent to join them permanently, arguing that their goals are aligned. Vincent is hesitant, clearly not a team player, but the chance to get revenge on Hojo and Sephiroth is too tempting to pass up. The squad is getting bigger and weirder by the minute. Having found the information they need, Aerith reveals that the Temple of the Ancients requires a keystone to enter. The last known location of this keystone was the Gold Saucer, a massive amusement park. So their next stop is a theme park, which is a wild tonal shift after the Haunted Mansion. A global broadcast airs, showing a representative from Wutai declaring war on Shinra. They accuse Rufus Shinra of breaking the ceasefire and creating bioweapons. The footage is damning, and it's clear that the world is on the brink of another major conflict. The political stakes are escalating. On the way to the Gold Saucer, Sid recognizes Aerith's last name and realizes he knew her mother, Ifalna. He shares a sweet story about meeting her and a baby Aerith back in the day. It's a small, heartwarming moment that gives Aerith a connection to her past and her mother's journey. Cait Sith explains that the keystone is in the possession of Dio, the owner of the gold saucer. He used to be a Shinra employee who built a museum for his antiques, but it flopped. Now he runs the park, and they'll have to deal with him to get what they need. At the gold saucer, Cait Sith warns Cloud that the Temple of the Ancients is cursed. No one who enters ever returns. This adds a layer of dread to their quest for the keystone. It's not just a key, it's a potential death sentence, but they have no other choice. They find Dio, but he's been roughed up by Don Corneo's men. He agrees to give them the keystone on one condition. They must fight as his champions in the Colosseum against Corneo's goons. So now, to save the world, they have to participate in a wrestling match. This game is wild. In another timeline, Marlene tells Zack a terrifying vision she had. She saw a scary man with long gray hair kill Aerith. Zack is disturbed, not fully understanding what it means, but it's a chilling piece of foreshadowing that suggests Aerith's fate is a fixed point across worlds. Back in the main timeline, Cloud gets roped into a date with one of his party members. The choice depends on the player's actions throughout the game. They attend a performance of the play Loveless, a dramatic story of love, betrayal, and heroism that mirrors their own journey. The play is interactive, and Cloud gets pulled on stage to become the hero, Alfred. He has to fight a dragon and win the heart of the princess, Rosa. The whole sequence is both epic and hilarious, a surreal break from the main plot that allows for some great character moments. After the play, Cloud and his date ride the Sky Wheel, the park's iconic Ferris wheel. It's a beautiful, intimate moment overlooking the entire gold saucer. Fireworks go off, and for a brief moment, they get to act like normal people on a normal date, away from all the fighting. The conversation on the Sky Wheel gets deep. Tifa and Cloud discuss their complicated past and their feelings for each other. It's a culmination of all the unspoken tension between them. This moment is a turning point in their relationship, where they finally start to be honest with each other. It's time for the big fight. The crew enters the arena as Dio's champions to take on Don Corneo and his crew. The announcers are hyping it up and the crowd is going wild. It's a ridiculous, over-the-top battle for the naming rights of the gold saucer and the keystone. The final opponent is Don Corneo himself, who transforms into a bizarre, monstrous form. The fight is as weird as he is, but the team manages to defeat him. They've won the keystone and saved the gold saucer from being renamed something terrible. It's a victory, but the celebration is short-lived. Just as Dio is about to hand over the keystone, Cait Sith snatches it and runs. He reveals he's been a Shinra spy all along, working for the Turks. The betrayal hits the party hard, especially Barret, who trusted him. All their hard work was for nothing. To make matters worse, Rufus Shinra himself appears in the arena to fight Cloud. He sees Cloud as just another piece of Shinra property to be disposed of. The one-on-one duel is intense, a clash between the new president and the ex-soldier who stands against everything he represents. The party confronts Cait Sith, who has been cornered. He admits to everything but reveals he has Marlene as a hostage, forcing them to let him go. The crew is furious but helpless. They've lost the keystone, and now Shinra is heading to the Temple of the Ancients. The Turks, now in possession of the keystone, are on their way to the temple. They discuss the curse, clearly spooked by the stories of people disappearing. It's clear that even Shinra's elite are nervous about what lies ahead. The temple is not a place to be trifled with. Using Cid's plane, now a boat, the party follows the Turks to the temple's location. The entrance is a massive, ancient structure, and the sense of foreboding is overwhelming. They know Sephiroth is likely already inside, and they have to get the black materia before he does. Inside, the Temple of the Ancients is a gravity-defying labyrinth. The architecture is impossible, and the whole place seems designed to confuse and disorient intruders. The Turks are already struggling to navigate it, proving that this place is dangerous for everyone, not just the heroes. Aerith uses her Cetra powers to try and communicate with the temple, to ask for safe passage. The temple responds, but it's not exactly welcoming. It seems to be testing them, judging their intentions. Aerith is the key to getting through this, but it's taking a huge toll on her. Aerith falls into a trance, and the party has to protect her while she communes with the spirits of the temple. It's a beautiful but dangerous process, as the temple's guardians are not happy about their presence. They have to hold off waves of monsters while Aerith does her thing. The temple's trials continue, forcing each member of the party to confront their deepest traumas and regrets. Barret is forced to relive the day Dine shot his arm off and he lost his wife. It's a brutal psychological test, designed to break them before they can reach the center. They finally reach a central chamber where Tseng of the Turks is gravely injured. He reveals that Sephiroth has already passed through. He gives Aerith the keystone, realizing that she is the only one who can stop Sephiroth. It's a moment of truce born from desperation. The final trial begins, and each member is sent into their own personal mental maze. They have to face their inner demons alone. For Aerith, it's the memory of her mother dying as they tried to escape from Hojo's lab. It's a heartbreaking sequence that shows the true depth of her strength. Aerith delivers a powerful speech about life, death, and the future. She argues that true strength comes from forgiveness and hope, not anger. It's her core philosophy, and it's the only thing that can stand against Sephiroth's nihilism. She is the heart of the group, and her resolve is unwavering. Sephiroth appears in Cloud's trial, tormenting him and calling him a puppet. He preys on Cloud's insecurities and fragmented memories, trying to break him completely. But with the support of his friends echoing in his mind, Cloud finds the strength to fight back against the manipulation. In the heart of the temple, a mural tells the story of the Cetra, Jenova, the calamity from the skies, and the creation of the black materia. It's a massive lore dump that explains everything. The black materia was created to summon Meteor, the ultimate weapon of destruction. Sephiroth, having been there the whole time, takes control of Cloud and forces him to take the black materia. The temple begins to collapse, as the materia was the only thing holding it together. The situation has gone from bad to catastrophic in a matter of seconds. Cait Sith, in a surprising turn of events, sacrifices himself to stop the temple from crushing everyone. He uses his Moogle body to hold up a collapsing wall, giving the others time to escape. It's a heroic act that redeems him for his earlier betrayal, a true hero's exit. Just as they escape, a new Cait Sith model appears, revealing that his consciousness can be transferred. He's back, much to everyone's surprise. But the relief is short-lived, as Cloud, still under Sephiroth's control, hands the black materia over to him. They've failed. Sephiroth attacks the party, and Cloud, in a moment of clarity, fights back. But it's too late. Sephiroth has what he wants. Aerith tries to reason with Cloud to pull him back from the brink. The scene is pure chaos as Cloud's mind becomes a battleground. Cloud collapses and enters a surreal dream world. Here, he goes on a seemingly perfect date with Aerith. It's a tender, funny, and bittersweet sequence that feels like a final goodbye. The world around them seems to accept its fate, but Aerith is determined to keep fighting. We see a glimpse of Zack's world, where he is trying to save Biggs from a bomb. He's trying to change fate, to save everyone he can. His timeline is a world of what-ifs, where he's desperately trying to create a better outcome, but it's a lonely and difficult fight. In the dream, Aerith gives Cloud the white materia, her mother's legacy. She tells him that it's for saving the world and for saving him. She says her goodbyes and the dream ends, leaving Cloud with a sense of loss and a renewed purpose. He has to stop Sephiroth. Sephiroth explains his grand plan, the reunion. He wants to merge all the fragmented worlds created by fate's disruption into one. He sees this as a homecoming, a way to heal the planet by absorbing all the negative emotions from these dying worlds. It's a twisted, apocalyptic vision. Cloud wakes up from his coma, with Tifa by his side. They learn that Aerith has gone to the Forgotten Capital alone to use the white materia to summon Holy, the only power that can stop Meteor. The party knows they have to follow her to protect her from Sephiroth. They arrive at the Forgotten Capital, a beautiful ancient city of the Cetra. The place is serene and mystical, a stark contrast to the impending doom. They can feel Aerith's presence, and they know she's at the central altar performing the ceremony. As Aerith prays, she speaks to the planet, asking for the strength to protect her friends. It's a deeply personal and moving prayer, showing that her fight isn't just for the world, but for the people she loves. She has accepted her destiny, whatever it may be. Cloud, once again under Sephiroth's influence, is nearly forced to kill Aerith. He fights against the control with every fiber of his being. At the last second, he stops himself, but the moment of hesitation is all Sephiroth needs. The inevitable happens, and it's absolutely devastating. Sephiroth descends from the ceiling and impales Aerith with his Masamune. The most iconic and heartbreaking moment in the story unfolds. Her death sends shockwaves through the party and the player. The music, the silence, the slow fall of the white materia, it's unforgettable. The grief and rage explode into a massive battle. Cloud fights Sephiroth, fueled by pure hatred. The fight transcends reality, with Zack appearing from his own timeline to help fight a different version of Sephiroth. It's a desperate, multi-dimensional struggle against a godlike being. The entire party joins the fight, each getting their shot at the reborn Sephiroth. It's a visually stunning and emotionally charged final boss battle. They throw everything they have at him, fighting not just for the planet, but for Aerith's memory. This is their ultimate test. After a grueling battle, they defeat Sephiroth, but he warns that it's not over. Cloud lays Aerith to rest in the waters of the Forgotten Capital. It's a quiet, somber moment of farewell. Though she is gone, her spirit and the power of Holy live on, their only hope against Meteor. In the aftermath, we see Rufus Shinra scheming with a mysterious figure from Wutai named Glenn. It's revealed that the war was a ploy, a distraction from Sephiroth's real threat. The political intrigue is far from over, and new alliances are being formed in the shadows. The story ends with the party looking up at the sky, where a strange rift has appeared. Cloud seems to see something, or someone, that the others can't. It's a hint of Aerith's lingering spirit and the merging of worlds. Their journey is far from over, as they now have to find a way to stop Meteor.